Hi friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here. Now today we are going to be doing some hashtag gentle journaling, which is a hashtag created by Janet Nash while we work on Janet Nash prompts. So this is a twofold Janet Nash video. I will have her info down below. You probably know her already. She has art prompts that she pulls every Monday and shares with the community during a live stream, which anyone can join either live or you can watch the replay. She also puts the prompts in her community tab. So if you've missed any week or you just want to randomly pick a week and do those prompts, then feel free. And she also started the gentle journaling hashtag where you just create and just, take a deep breath and just get into whatever it is you're working on, creating, whether it's slow stitch, painting, journaling, writing, whatever it is you're doing, just, relax into it and have a beautiful, peaceful time doing whatever it is that you love to do. So these are the prompts from this past Monday, and the prompts are something from page 53 in a magazine, owl, scrape paint, peace, and an art room, which was a prompt that came from Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen sent to Janet. So the first thing I'm thinking we should do is scrape paint, because that will take some time to dry. And then while it's drying, we can look for an image in a magazine. And I think I'm going to sketch ink and paint an owl for the room, or for the page, I mean. So let me open up, this is my journal I use for a lot of the prompts. And I've already gessoed 2 pages here. I'm not sure if this is going to be a 1-page or a 2-page spread, but this way we have plenty of room. Let me just move this little basket of images. There we go. And I have 2 magazines here, so we'll have a look at those in just a minute. I'll put those to the side. And I have this tool, my palette knife, which I think is what I'm going to be using to scrape today, because a lot of time recently I've been using a card. You can use any kind of a gift card, an old gift card, and scrape paint. And I think I just want to do something a little bit different, so I am going to scrape paint using this palette knife. And let me just put a protective page under on this side, and that's just to protect the pages underneath, because I'll probably go off the page there. And I should do it on this side as well. Let me just grab something. There we go. And now we don't have to worry about any extra paint seeping off the page. So the paints I'm thinking of using are this gold ochre acrylic. This is a super old paint I've had forever. Anita's all-purpose acrylic. This is chocolate brown. And this one is apple barrel classic caramel. So I'm going to use those. This might be the center. This gold ochre might be the center circle. And then on the outside, I want to do like a large tree. I want it like we're looking into a tree, into the home of this owl. So I'll start on the outside. Whoops, knocking my paint over. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this brown color on. It gets noisy. Like I said, that's an old one too. And then a little bit of this one. And we'll see how that looks. We'll see if we need more or less. And you might want to put your apron on to do this kind of thing. And we're just going to scrape. And the paper does have a little bit of texture from the gesso. our basic tree here. And then I'm just going to put some, I'm going to scrape some detail in so it looks perhaps like the bark of a tree. And that's why I wanted to use this palette knife, was so I could kind of get in here and play in a little bit of this wet paint and just see what kind of lines I can make. Okay, and I don't mind, I don't need it to be a perfect circle because I feel like, you know, in nature you just find these organic shapes and they're not always perfect circles. I have a little bit of extra paint here. I'm going to grab my new book that I've been altering. It's kind of a test to see how it goes. And I'm just going to open up to this page here and I'm just going to scrape to clean this palette knife a little bit. And now I'm going to use this gold ochre on the inside here. Make it look kind of warm and inviting. So that is looking pretty good. I am going to set that aside to dry now. And now let's look for something from page 53 in the magazine. I grabbed these two, so let's see what we have. I have a whole stack, so we can look through some more if we need to. Page 53 is this here. Blue Ghost Fireflies. And something that Janet did was she didn't like what was on her page 53, so she reversed it and looked at 35. So just for fun, let's look at 35 as well. Oh, that's pretty. Not page 35. 35, it's pictures of two knights, which is interesting. I don't know. That might be a contender. All right, let's see what's on 53. Is an ad, so that's not going to work. We can check 35. Ooh, I love the hearts. Okay, I love that. I like that the most so far. So let's grab that image. And then we'll put these aside. This could be cool for an art room though. So it almost looks like, you know, it could be paint everywhere or something like that. I'm going to take this too. And then that way we have options. I'm leaning more towards this one, but this one could be a cool background for behind our owl. And speaking of owl, let's now draw an owl. Okay, so now we're just going to use some watercolor. I'm just using my Koi watercolor palette. As you can see, it's been well loved. And yeah, let's paint our little owl. Okay, so here is our scraped paint. Let me just take those pages out. Let me zoom out just a little bit here so we can see the whole thing. Cut out the owl. Here he is. He's pretty big, so he's going to be on the outside of his home. And then I was looking at the images that we had picked here, and I thought I was going to go with this one. But I think I'm actually going to go with this because I was thinking if I tear both sides, I can almost make it look like that's like magic paint coming out from the paintbrush. And so I liked that idea. So I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler and just rip this image because I do prefer a ripped edge to a cut edge. So let's just do that. And then, yeah, let me just rip a little bit off of here too, maybe. There we go. All right, so I want this to kind of be blasting out, and he's going to be on this page. I kind of wish I had done it like this, but I'm not sure about putting the wing on the crease. I don't think that will work out. So I think I'm going to do that. Actually, I still have some of this image, so I could even make it longer if I need to. And then for the art room, I found this lovely picture I had cut out of a magazine, and it's like a little art room. It's got a little easel here, pretty big easel actually, with some stools and lighting and a window. So I was thinking I could put that, maybe I can just have that sort of be in the background there. Can I do that and still see it? I do want to be able to see that. I could even cut off a little bit of that window because that's not actually as important as the easel and everything. So let me just cut a little bit of that off. I'm thinking I'm going to do like that, and then I'll have that. And then we still have the peace sign. So I am going to figure that out in just a minute. Let me get these things down first. Now, I'm not sure how the glue stick will work against the acrylic paint. I will try it, but I might have to come back with the tacky glue. But we'll just try and see. So we'll put that about right there. And then I will use tacky glue for the owl because the owl's on thick watercolor paper. Okay, so we kind of want to do like, maybe like that so we can still see that easel and everything. Probably should have put that a little bit lower, maybe like that. I could put my owl up a little bit higher. So we will put him on about right there. And then I kind of feel like maybe I want to rip this into two pieces. And maybe have it like kind of blasting out. Maybe even starting a little bit smaller and then getting a little bit bigger so it really looks like it's blasting out. So something like that. And I don't mind if this is on the bend. Alright, so let's go ahead and glue these in some fashion, and then we got to figure out the peace sign, and I think I have an idea. Let's get some magical blasts coming out of this magical paintbrush here. And let's put this one maybe even right behind it, going right off the page a little bit. So now I'm going to take this pink acrylic, and I think what I would like to do is create a peace sign with it, as if the owl was decorating the outside of their home here. Sorry. And I'm going to scrape it. And we'll see how we do. And I know it's a little bit narrow. It's not a circle because I was looking at how the entrance of the home is right there. So let's see if we can get this on there. I'm thinking the owl is painting these nice peace signs so the animals know they can come, they can hang out, they can relax, and they can use owl's supplies and paint or create whatever they want, and they will be safe. This is a very peaceful owl. There we go. So we have one peace sign, and then I think because there's pink there, let's just add a little pink coming out in this blast so that way we know that the owl is creating with these. So we'll add a little bit of pink on the end there. Just so you know that that's coming from the owl, and then we'll even have some little bit of pink splatters here and there, because this, you know, when it's painting time, you're getting paint probably in a few places. It's not usually the neatest thing. Maybe it is sometimes, but not for me. So we're going to get some paint around here, because this is the art space too. It's the art space, so we want it to look like it has been used for art. So we've got that peace sign, and then I think I'll do another one in this turquoise color. Let me just dip into this and get some paint, and we'll do another one. It is fun to try to paint with different things. So like normally I don't paint too often with the palette knife, but it is fun to just do something different. And we're not going for perfection or anything like that. This is just gentle journaling. We're just enjoying it, and we're not really worried about perfect circles or neat circles or anything like that. We're just gonna play with it, and it's just kind of organic. There we go. There's a little, kind of looks like a little bird claw, doesn't it? And then we're going to add some of this paint, because now this paint is getting... Okay, so I ran out of time. Now I'm back, and we're just going to add this light pink. I thought I'd add another little color and just make another little peace sign here. Didn't leave myself too much room to make the peace sign, and it's okay even if you can't quite tell it's a peace sign. It's just a suggestion. If you look closely, maybe you can tell, but it can be a little tricky. All right, we're going to add some pink splatter, light pink. This is like a nice art tree. A little pink here. There we go. And now I think what I'd like to do is just to take a little more of this yellow ochre and kind of see if I can make this room feel like it's part of the tree. Because right now it's just kind of sitting there, and I just want to put a little bit of paint around it to kind of make it look more like it's part of the scene here. So just a little bit like that. Just to try to bring it in, and then I could do a little bit at the bottom with this brown. There we go. So let's see, we have something from page 53, Owl, Scrape Paint, Piece, and Art Room. And I could always add some more things in here if I wanted to. I could add a little bit of, you know, if I find some more magazine images of like paint brushes or something like that, I could add that. And I think that's going to do it for today. So thank you so much for joining me. So I'll bring you a little bit closer, and this paint is still wet, but you can see our peace signs on that side and our owl creating on this side. And I do think I'd like to add probably some more things back here, but for right now, this page is done. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Janet Nash for the art prompts and for the hashtag gentle journaling. Be sure to check out Janet and check out the hashtag, because there are lots of other creators that are sharing their videos that are also really nice and relaxing. So have a look and enjoy. Just have a peaceful day, and I will see you again soon.